Good morning! I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castros. Happy Friday!
Oh, alam mong Friday
Alam
to
mong
Brunch.
Friday na
Pag naka-buffet tayo.
Happy fiesta na naman tayo.
Care of Buddha's Belly.
Buddha's Belly. Of course, si Marjorie Tanya na talagang laging iniisip tayo pag Friday.
Oh, madaming pagkain.
Kailangan busog tayo pag Friday.
Buttered chicken. Garlic fried rice, meron hakaw and shrimp, bird's eye, shrimp dumpling. And then we have pansit.
Pansit is my favorite.
Buchi. Yun, daming food. At hindi lang yun ang madami, pati ang balita madami kahit
Yes.
Friday.
At
ang daming umiinit na balita tulad yung kay Mayor Alice. Tapos yung sa POGO raid.
Oo, yung pag-raid ng mga POGO.
Sa
Tapos
West
meron pa
Philippine
tayong
Sea.
bagong mug ngayon, Brunch.
We
Okay.
are Brunch.
Lance ba? Lance, thank you so much. Pakita natin.
Ayan, oh.
Oh.
Wala, si Angel lang ang pinakita. Yan ang pag...
Hindi, isa-isa lang kasi. O, si Diego naman.
Ayoko na.
Pitikan nyo na bago
Magtatampo ako kay-
selos.
magtatampo ako kay
Ayan.
Hindi kasi ako babae. Anyway, we're serving you news in a countdown.
All that before your second cup of coffee. This is Brunch.
Let's kick off our countdown with exciting Philippine PBA Philippine Cup Finals.
Kaya mo yan.
Kaya ko yan. Meralco Bolt is aiming to snatch another victory tonight against San Miguel Beermen. The Bolts previously stunned San Miguel and took Game 1 of the best-of-7 final series. But San Miguel is known for redeeming themselves. Recall in 2016, San Miguel rose above their 0-3 series deficit and eventually snatched a trophy against Alaska in the finals. Let's catch Game 2 later at 7:30 p.m. at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. We can also watch this on RPTV and PBA Rush on Signal TV and on Pilipinas Live app. San Miguel is looking to tie the series at 1-1 while Meralco gusto mo umabante ng 2-0.
Oo.
Pero kailangan kasi ang goal dyan mag 2-0 Meralco kasi malakas ang San Miguel. So hindi pwedeng
Pero
pagdikitin
nitong
nila
nakaraang
yan.
game daw, medyo napagod talaga si Junmar.
No,
kasi
because,
siya nagbubuhat eh.
San Miguel kasi, ang style nila is half-court offense, so slow down game. Ang Meralco Bolts, takbo ng takbo. So
Kaya
if Meralco
nakakapagod.
can dictate the tempo right away from the get-go, di ba? Takbo ng takbo. Hindi, if they can,
Tempo, get go, mga ano ah.
normal naman yan
I
eh.
know.
That's term. If they can dictate it
Term.
from the start, takbo ng takbo, then may upper hand sila. But if San Miguel can slow down the game, San Miguel lang ang pwedeng manalo.
Ayun.
Ayun.
Ayun ang ating PBA update for today. Pero let's move forward to our next topic for today. Coming in at top 9, Typhoon Aghon's damage to infrastructure and agriculture reached 1 billion pesos nationwide. According to the NDRRMC, Aghon impacted 123 facilities in Calabarzon, an additional 7,600 houses in the region and in eastern Visayas were reported damaged. That brings the cost of infrastructure damage to over 942.5 million pesos. Meanwhile, agricultural damage in Calabarzon and Mimaropa was estimated at 85.6 million pesos. Around 100 or 1,300 farmers and fishers in those two regions were affected by the typhoon.
Yan, with the
Oo.
damage assessment already, di ba usually ginagawa ng pag-asa, they'll remove that name already. Kasi mataas ang pinsala. May mga categories kasi sila and when to remove the name. So I
Yes.
think they'll remove this kasi yung infrastructure alone, ang laki na ng...
Laki ng
damage.
damage sa infrastructure, tapos agricultural damage.
Oh, 1
And
billion.
we've seen that, oo.
Oo. And for a storm that was not expected to be that strong. I mean, di ba, alam naman natin na we were prepared, pero nagulat lahat eh, na gano'n ang nangyari. Hindi siya expected. Alright, okay.
Yun nga, kaya di ba nung the last time na nakikipag-usap tayo dun sa mga
Yes.
stakeholders, especially yung mga kababayan natin na affected nga nitong bagyong Aghon, talagang hirap sila, di ba, nagpunta sa evacuation center.
Nag-i-issue kasi yung water supply. Kasi
Yeah.
because of the flood, nagkaroon ng contaminants yung supply nila. So they had to check it first because baka kung magkaroon ng outbreak sa stomach flu or whatever, di ba, ang daming kakasakit, they have to manage that as well.
Right.
Oo.
But speaking of water supply problem din.
Apektado rin yan dito. Let's move on to the next. Coming in at the 8th spot is the Kanlaon volcano eruption. Local government of Kanlaon City is seeking help from the national government after their source of clean water was contaminated with lahar. Gio Robles with a report.
Lahar has replaced the fresh water that used to cascade down Bahi-Bahi Falls in the town of La Castellana in Negros Occidental. The lahar quickly flowed into other rivers as seen in this video taken by a tour guide at Mount Kanlaon. In Barangay Biak na Bato, the lahar overflowed into houses, reaching up to knee level. Although the area has been open to motorists, clearing operations continue. In Kanlaon City, Negros Oriental, the traces of lahar flowing from the volcano are still visible. Because of this, some popular tourist destinations in the city have been temporarily closed to the public. Ganito kakapal ang lahar mula sa Mount Kanlaon. Kung titignan niyo, ayan, sobrang lapot, parang simento, pero pinaghalong asupre at putik ito na bumalot sa mga bato. Even trees and plants were not spared from the damage caused by the volcanic ash. The lahar has also reached the natural springs in the area where some residents source their drinking water. And now, residents are concerned about their water supply and their health.
Diyan kami kumukuha ng uminom, pero ngayon hindi na po kami kumukuha kasi natatakot po kami. Lasa po ng putik. Ang lahar talaga para sulfur ng amoy niya.
Residential areas have also been warned against using water from the tap as the pipelines connecting to the houses were also damaged by the lahar.
If contaminated ng lahar or sulfur po ang tubig, most likely magkakaroon ng GI problem, no? Gastrointestinal problem like LBM, no? Loose bowel movement, most likely will lead to dehydration.
The LGU has a mobile water purification system which provides clean water for evacuees and at least 100 homes in the city. But this is insufficient to meet the demand of affected residents. A mobile water station can only process almost half or 4,800 liters of the 10,000-liter demand per day. The LGU is now calling for assistance from the national government, especially as the number of evacuees continues to grow due to the lahar flow. Among them is Nanay Marilu Patagatay, who has 6 children.
Pero Alice Guo bala sa tubig. Tapos kami nakulbaan kay siyempre ang idaw init gid sa kagasungaw man. Mudis ko kalapit ang daan sa amon balay sa bulkan. Kinakon mahimo gid nga malakat kita sa bakutan.
The Agriculture Department is also assessing the agricultural damage caused by the lahar flow. Residents remain alert as intermittent rains over Negros Island could again cause lahar to flow from Mount Kanlaon. For News 5, Gio Robles, we are One News.
To tell us more about the situation in Kanlaon City, we have on the line again Dr. Elmer Empiales, City Health Officer of Kanlaon City, Negros Oriental.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning po sa lahat.
Yes, Doc. The last time we spoke, I think it was yesterday, we were talking about yung magiging problema sa water supply. So, ano na po ang update regarding this at saan na po tayo kumukuha ng drinking water para sa mga residente?
Sa ngayon po, and then meron naman po tayong mobile water purification system.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yung ginawa po natin is meron naman po tayong mga galon or jerry cans na nalagyan ng tubig.
Okay.
No?
Aha.
Tubig, and then dinideliver because yung solely kung water purification system natin yung nag-rely tayo doon, kulang po sa daily needs ng ating mga residente doon.
Okay. So,
kailangan po tayo ng mga tubig doon.
Confirm ko lang, Doc. So, parang sinasabi nyo, confirm po na may contamination po ang water supply ng area? Yes, Doc?
Yes po. Meron po tayo matitid po na may dun sa water. Kaya po, ang residente natin advice na tayo na lang po ang magsusupply muna for the meantime unless or otherwise na may advice na it is safe na po na pwedeng inumin.
Okay. Okay.
Just to be clear lang po on that aspect, kasi sabi daw po ng mga LGU, maglalagay sila ng Office of Civil Defense Region 6, maglalagay po sila ng mga portable water station sa mga areas na kailangan. Yun po ba ay naibigay na o on the way pa lang?
Para on the way pa po kasi may mga pledges po talaga, pati po sa region po namin meron po. Siguro, at saka mobile kitchen, kaya hopefully darating na po yun.
Oo. So ngayon nga po, kapag ganyan, hirap po tayo sa supply ng maiinom na tubig, usually po nagkakaroon po ng mga sakit yung mga kababayan natin kapag nakakainom ng maduduming tubig. So have we recorded residents po na merong stomach issues dahil nga po dito sa pag-inom ng tubig na meron pong contamination ng lahar?
For now po, wala pong reported case,
That's good.
pero na-advise po natin na na lang po talaga to avoid na magkaroon ng ganong case po. So ngayon, para masustain po natin yung pagbigay ng tubig doon, dito natin na ini-imbak yung tubig and then dito madala area po.
Dugtong ko lang din po, Doc, pang ilang araw na po nung ibang mga kababayan natin na nasa evacuation centers ngayon?
Yung iba po ay day 1 po doon sa pagputok ng bulkan. Yung iba naman, 3 days. At saka yung iba dahil malakas na doon sa may mga malalapit na sa riverbank, kaya na magpunta rin doon.
Oo po. Kaya ko lang po natanongin kasi I just want to ask lang po, how are we handling po the sanitation issues doon po sa mga evacuation centers, dahil kapag tumatagal po yung mga kababayan natin doon, nagkakaroon po din ng iba't ibang mga sakit
Kaya nga po tinugunan po natin yung mga nagdala din water at saka toilet. Dahil sa kakulangan din, nag-request din naman po tayo sa agencies na magtugon po doon.
Thank you. Alright.
Alright, thank you, Dr. Elmer Empiales, City Health Officer of Kanlaon City, Negros Oriental.
Yan pa naman ang napakahirap yung wala kang malinis na tubig
So evident malinis ng tubig. I wanted to ask sana si Doc, kaso
Hirap ng line no?
hirap na lang. I wanted to ask, ano pa yung ibang mga tinitignan natin? Kasi aside from water issues sa gastrointestinal, I understand may nagkakaroon daw ng mga ibang lung problems.
Lung problems.
So ano pa yung mga ibang binabantayan natin sakit? Kasi mukhang OCD has declared this magiging a long eruption, di ba?
Situation doon sa
sitwasyon to.
Sa Negros, kasi kumakapal yung pagbuga ng usok, yung pagbuga din ng sulfur dioxide, yung gas doon sa area.
Kasi may usapin na may danger zone nga na pinag-uusapan, di ba? Na 4-kilometer radius danger zone because of the volcano. Pero may sinasabi ibang doktor na yung usok may spread beyond that. So ano ang magiging tugon natin doon? Anyway, we'll update everyone more as we go along with this story next week.
Actually nga, nakita ko kahapon nasa post tayo ng Instagram ng BBC News. Pinapakita nga itong stream of rivers natin na super kapal na punong-puno ng lahar. Oo. Alright, coming up, more Filipinos went jobless in April, and even more are looking for additional jobs to support their needs.
And President Marcos responds to China's accusation that the Philippines is instigating conflict in the West Philippine Sea.
We are just getting started, mga kapatid. More of our top 10 news when Brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching Brunch here on One News.
Oy, we are joined by
Happy
Buddha's,
Friday.
Buddha's Belly. Tingnan mo yung plato ni Angel na punong-puno na. Oh.
Oo.
Kaya babaeng tao, punong-puno ang plato.
Hindi, nagsa-start pa lang. Ano naman masama? Walang gender ang kagutuman.
Hindi, pero siyempre, di ba?
Oh, ano?
Diyan-
Hindi walang ganun.
Joke
Walang
lang,
arte-arte.
pagkain pinag-usapan na pupunta sa gender issue.
Sabi mo kasi kababaing tao, lakas kumain. Oh. Nasa gender ba ang
No.
pagiging gutom?
Nasa sex because ang babae mas maliit ang tiyan.
Oh,
So mas
tapos?
maliit ang pagkain na dapat pumapasok.
Sino nagsabi sa'yo niyan?
Si Papa Jesus. Sabi mo,
Bakit tumatawa si Ate Marley sa gilid?
ano, may bumubulong dito.
Ano
okay,
niya?
okay daw.
Sige,
Matakaw daw si Ma'am Angela. Ganun ba direct? Okay.
Okay, sige.
Okay, let's move on.
Teka muna,
Oh.
batiin ko lang tong nanonood sa atin. Si Gary Field.
Uy, good morning,
Oo,
Gary.
si Alex Fuentes. Si Gary Field, nandun pa yung kanina
Ito,
sa kabila eh. Tsaka si Sam Pokemon.
Si Mer Sorebak.
Oh, saka si Tita Naldi Cancio and Tita Daisy
And
nanonood.
si Vlad. Si Vlad. Good morning.
Alright, let's continue with our countdown for today. Ranking 7th in our countdown is some drama in the church. Now, Cardinal Jose Advincula has suspended a priest in Manila because of his refusal to vacate his position in his church. Father Alfonso Valesa is not allowed to conduct priestly activities such as leading a mass and administering a sacrament like baptism. The Archdiocese of Manila previously ordered Valesa to vacate his position as the parochial administrator of the St. Joseph Parish in Tondo due to internal conflicts. However, Valesa refused to comply. The Archdiocese clarified that Valesa's suspension had nothing to do with his corruption allegations in the church.
Pinasubstantiate nga sa kanya ni Cardinal yun. Sinabi sa kanya ni Cardinal, yung mga allegations mo, magbigay ka ng proof. And then we will ask Bishop Tobias to investigate at kung yung mga allegations mo are true, then those who are responsible will be sanctioned also.
Si
Una na-
Bishop Tobias
Tobias.
went over to the yung transfer of yung transfer of duties. Tapos dito nakuha na ng video
Oo, yun yung nag-viral eh, no?
nagwawala si Father. Tapos siguro pinapacify daw ni Bishop kasi parang hinahawakan, parang huminahon
Pero
ka.
ang sabi dun sa
ang nakita sa video, kala nila sinasakal ni Bishop pero hindi. He was pacifying him with his hand.
Pero may
Parang
isa kasing doon na parang worker din sa church yung nanay-nanay. Sinasabi niya, sinasakal daw ni Bishop Tobias.
Hindi naman daw.
Pero syempre, sabi nila Bishop, hindi
No,
daw
wala.
pinapacify
Kasi
lang.
nagwawala daw si Father, so kinapacify. Pero sana wag na nilang gawin issue yung mga ganyan. Let them decide their own conflicts and resolve their own conflicts. So,
Kasi may issue daw ng mga korupsyon and everything dyan sa, doon sa Archdiocese.
Oo, meron daw issue talaga pero ini-investigate nila. Pero hindi daw ito yung reason ng pag-transfer ng duties. Usually kasi mga parish priests, tina-transfer talaga yan every now and then, di ba? Pag may conflict or pag may certain number of months na nag-serve na ng duty, ililipat sa kanila.
Nililipat-lipat sila. Oh. Actually, nakita ko nga sa Facebook yung mga netizens, tataba talaga ng utak. Di ba may mga away nga dun sa video, sabi nila, Holy Rumble daw.
Holy Rumble.
Holy Rumble.
Bishop versus Father.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's continue.
Sitting on our 6th spot, a Cameroonian national was arrested over black dollar scam. Now, the scheme involves convincing victims to pay money for chemicals purportedly needed to convert counterfeit currency into real dollars. According to the NBI, the suspect named Kanlaon collected at least 4 million pesos in exchange for fake dollar bills at a hotel in Makati. The foreigner is now being held on charges of estafa and illegal use of false treasury banknotes. Ayos si Sarah. No, may chemical daw na ang counterfeit magiging totoo.
Grabe yun,
Dollars pa. Alam natin yung dollar bill, madaming security features na mahirap gayahin. Although may mga high-end syndicates na gagawa, yung serial number hindi nahuhuli. Kaya yung sa States, di ba yung mga FBI laging nahuhuli nila pag may gumagamit ng counterfeit.
Okay, let's continue with our countdown. Entering the top 5 is the employment sector. The underemployment rate in the country has increased in April. Based on the latest data of the Philippine Statistics Authority, the number of underemployed Filipinos or those who are seeking additional jobs has escalated to 14.6% or 7 million employees. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate in the country has also slightly expanded to 4% or over 2 million Filipinos.
To tell us more about this, we have Patrick Patri Wirawan Jr., Director of Bureau of Local Employment.
Good morning, sir. Good
Hi,
morning,
good morning.
Director. Yeah, thanks for joining us today. Siyempre, ang unang katanungan po dyan, ano po yung mga factors, no? O yung mga attributes dito behind yung pagtaas po ng underemployment rate natin dito sa ating bansa?
Thank you po unang-una sa pag-invite po sa Department of Labor and Employment to share information on the recent PSA Labor Force Survey. And on your question po on underemployment, no, we take note of this current result and we're looking at some possible reasons which include, of course, first and foremost, yung need ng ating mga kababayan po for additional income. But aside from that, we're looking at possible option to explore or create or improve their work experiences, no? May mga kababayan po tayo na marahil ay may mga available na free time na pwede nilang magamit to have more productive activities during those free time. But we observe under this particular indicator for underemployment, they fall under the sectors of wholesale and retail, agriculture, and accommodation and food service activities. And so these are the sectors where we see that our workers would have additional time, no, to be able to do part-time work. And of course, increase income and increase their work experiences.
Okay, Director Patrick, I'd like to ask you about unemployment. No? Now, there's an increase also of unemployment rate. Now, is this also a result of an increase in underemployment? Kasi ang underemployment, pag kulang ang income, baka after a period of a few months, mag-resign yung tao. So, nagkakaroon ng unemployment. So, may epekto po ba ito?
Thank you, sir, for that question. No? First and foremost, we'd like to reiterate when we try to analyze this data coming from the PSA, no? We want to always look at or compare year on year and quarter on quarter.
Okay.
Very minimal lang po yung pagtingin natin kapag ka mga month on month comparison, no? Kasi talagang maraming factors that could affect individuals' behaviors, kaya nag-move sila from one sector to another sector, one activity to another activity. But when we try to compare it on a year-on-year basis, makikita talaga natin yung interventions, yung effect ng mga policies na ini-implement po natin. So in this case, for our unemployment rate, no, we're seeing downward trend from 4.5% last April of 2023, even on January of 2024, last quarter, naging 4% na lang po siya ngayon, which gives us an indication, no, that the programs that we are implementing, at least for the previous year, no, were effective in terms of addressing unemployment. Kasi from a 4.5, no, napababa natin siya to 4%. Of course, we continue to improve yung mga current ongoing initiatives natin to make sure that all people will have access to employment opportunities.
Oo. Director, do we have data po ba doon sa mga walang trabaho regarding naman po doon sa kanilang edad? I'm asking this because remember po, we have yung K-12 program natin, and once nag-graduate po sila ng senior high school, ang sabi po nila, pwede na sila ma-employ. So do we have data on meron po bang mga na-hire na mga senior high school after graduating from that level?
Right, that's something that we can look into sa recent result ng labor force. But at the moment, wala akong ready available na information on the by age or by age na unemployment natin. But what we're seeing in terms of our ongoing partnerships with DepEd, with the private sector, especially in hiring our senior high school graduates, is that a number of our private sectors have already acknowledge or recognize, no, na may mga senior high school graduates tayo na may qualifications or skills, no, that are already fit for work, no, in terms of vacancies or occupations that are available in their enterprises. We're also partnering with Job Street in the last year, no, where we did a study and found out, no, that compared to its initial implementation of the K to 12 program, we see now an increase in the number of employers who are now hiring or who have acknowledged or recognized, no, yung qualifications ng ating mga senior high school graduates. Also, in 2022, we did a partnership with DepEd where we did a K to 12 or senior high school job fair where we were able to monitor around 400 students hired on the spot, no? And so we continue to do these partnerships with DepEd and with the private sector to ensure, no, that our senior high schools are really employable.
Oo, maganda nga po malaman natin yung datos dyan kasi may mga nakakausap po tayo ng mga nag-graduate ng senior high school na hirap din po sila makakuha ng trabaho. Baka po kasama po sila dito sa mga datos ninyo ng underemployment. Pero ano po yung mga programa po natin para po mas ma-improve pa natin yung mga skills, no, ng Filipino workers tulad nga po ng nabanggit ni Diego kanina, talagang nagkakaproblema yung skills matching. Maraming trabaho na available, but skills matching, another issue din yan.
Thank you po for that question, ma'am. Actually, we recognize that there is still a job skills mismatch and we want to address that. We have been partnering with other government agencies. Very recently po, we signed a joint memo circular with DepEd, CHED, and TESDA to align curriculum development and design to mainstream TVET across all levels of education, no, to ensure, no, na yung mga graduates natin would have the qualifications needed by our employers. Aside from that, the department also strengthens its partnership with the DILG through our public employment service offices. We have signed a memorandum of agreement also with the DILG and the Public Employment Service Office Managers Association of the Philippines, which strengthens the capacity of our PESOs to be able to facilitate employment opportunities. So sinisiguro po natin na ang ating mga public employment service offices sa kani-kaniyang mga LGUs po, no, ay merong kapasidad para makapagbigay ng oportunidad sa ating mga kababayan na naghahanap ng trabaho. Kasama po dyan, ini-implementa rin po natin ang tinatawag nating mga youth employability programs katulad po ng Job Start Program, Special Program for Employment of Students, kung saan tayo po ay nakikipag-ugnayan sa private sector upang maging partner po natin sa pag-implement ng mga programang ito para po yung mga work experiences na nakukuha nila ay angkop sa pangangailangan po ng industriya.
Alright.
All right, with that, thank you for joining us, Patrick Patriwirawan Jr., Director of the Bureau of Local Employment.
Maraming salamat po.
All right, don't go away because we're not done yet. May special guest pa tayo.
Live. Kasi
Live.
Friday
Live.
ngayon.
Live,
Friday.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Ngayon, every week, we have brunch break on a Friday para pang banlaw, pang tanggal umay sa mga stressful news.
At dahil nga brunch break ngayon, we have a special guest in the house.
Joining us now live here in the studio is Win Girl Inday Fatima. Magandang umaga, Inday.
Hello po.
Good morning.
Good morning sa inyong lahat.
She's so beautiful and sexy.
Inday ba tawag? Inday.
Opo, Inday. I-greet ko lang muna yung lahat ng fans ko sa probinsya.
Go!
Maimbuntag ka ninyong tanan, mga Inday ug mga Dudong. That of course, sa Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, maimbuntag ka ninyong tanan.
Ayun. Siyempre, nandito ka dahil pag-uusapan natin na isa ka sa mga magiging host, no? Kasama ni Kuya Will sa kanyang magiging programa dito sa TV5, no? Sa kabilang channel natin. Pero siyempre, kamusta naman? 'Di ba? Ano yung naging reaction mo? How were you? Nung sinabi sa iyo na, Inday, ikaw na yung makakasama ni Kuya Will sa kanyang magiging bagong show.
Grabe. Talagang hindi po ako makapaniwala. Kasi imagine po, kumbaga, nag-umpisa lang po ako mag-TikTok, sa Facebook, creating content sa probinsya po namin. So, mas nakilala ako as Inday Fatima. Yung ginagawa ko, yung simpleng buhay namin. Nag-open ng buko, nagnilulupa, kumakain lang ng mga tuyo, dry fish. So, yun yung
provincial life talaga.
So, yun yung na-appreciate nung tao. And siguro, yun din yung na-appreciate nung show. Kaya talagang napili ako as maging host. Pero actually, we did audition for the show.
Nag-audition
nag-audition
ka.
po kami.
So, ilang process o ilang stage yung pag-audition?
Mga 2 o 3 din po. So, hindi din po talaga siya madali.
Hindi madali.
Opo. Kasi yung gusto lang din naman makita ni Kuya Will, of course, din ng show, yung talagang pagiging totoo namin. Yung talagang relatable. So, yun din talaga.
Alam mo ba kung marami kayong nag-audition?
Marami po. Marami.
So, out of ilang girls?
Nasa 20 to 30 na girls nag-audition.
Madami. Out of 20, isa ka sa napili.
Oo, grabe po. Parang nung tinawagan ako, sabi ko talaga sabi ko, ako na ba talaga? Kasi I never thought na isang probinsyana po will have the chance to be on TV because it's my first time.
Oo.
Go, sige.
Kasi tatanong ko lang, before this, syempre, maraming interesado din sa background.
Opo.
Diba? Before hosting, and of course, I know, sumali ka rin sa beauty pageant. So, kwentuhan mo naman kami.
Oo. Alam niyo po, nag-start ako mag-join ng pageants 13 years old. As
early as 13
years old. So, iba-ibang pageant na din po yung pinagsalihan ko. Pero nagtapos po ako as registered medical technologist po, Bachelor of Science in Medical Technology. So, I work sa government hospital for 2 years din po. So, may plans po ako to proceed to medicine, pero for now, wala pang enough finances. So, I'm planning to really work hard para makapag-ipon and to become a future doctor. Kasi yun
diba?
talaga yung dream ko po.
Ang galing naman. So, parang nakikita ko na in the future, Dr. Inday Fatima.
Yes, nako po.
Diba? Magandang pakinggan.
Tsaka sobrang importante kasi sa amin po talagang kulang ang doctor sa community
That's
namin.
right.
Sa probinsya po.
Totoo.
So talagang very in need of doctors.
But early on, nung as a young kid, plano mo bang maging doktor talaga? Or did you ever see yourself on TV?
Both. Pwede both.
Pwede naman both.
Pero nung una po talaga, parang I always imagine myself to be on TV. Pero I always feel na din na talagang what will be my purpose, and that is to be of service to the community. That's why I really want to pursue maging doktor po. So doon nung nag-medtech din ako, mas na-appreciate ko yung work nila. So how helpful it is to the community din.
So I was wondering kung yung advocacy mo, kasi usually pag mga beauty queens, may advocacy yan sila. No? Is this related also to your educational background?
Opo, healthcare din po ang aking advocacy and advocating for the rights of persons with disability.
Pares tayo. Okay, mamaya mag-usap tayo. Kasi diba, kawawa naman sila eh. They need talaga attention with regards to medical needs nila. Okay. So, alright. So, what else? What else can you tell us about
actually,
your
I worked din po in an NGO before na talagang tumutulong sa mga PWDs sa buong Pilipinas. So, iba-ibang lugar din pinupuntahan namin, tinutulungan mga PWDs po.
In your kumbaga journey, 'di ba, sa pag-ayos nitong mga advocacy mo, ano yung nakikita mo na mas kailangan ng PWD ngayon?
Siguro yun din, help din sa mga medical bills kasi hindi po madali. Imagine how many % discount lang, nasa 20, but I know they have plans to raise it to 30% na yung discount. Pero that would be a very big help sa PWDs natin.
Okay, so paano ba to? Anong gagawin mo ngayon, 'di ba? May bala ka bang balikan yung o isabay yung hosting mo
Yes,
sa pagiging
oo.
beauty beauty
queen, opo.
queen, yung mga ganun.
Ngayon po, I really want to pursue itong industry, pag-artista and pag-hosting. Kasi, it's my dream din talaga to be on TV. And it's a one-time opportunity po. I'll never have the chance again. So, talagang ginrab ko po ito because it is a dream of mine and my mom for how many years. And finally, it's here. So, talagang never ko yun imagine. Kasi, I always thought na baka pag magsali ako ng pageant, yun yung way ko para ma-discover,
Yes,
maging artista. Pero finally, mas na-discover ako because of being myself, being my true self sa mga TikTok ko, sa mga content. So, yun talagang na-appreciate ng fans ko. Sobra.
So, parang-
Alam mo, hindi maarte, kumakain ng kahit ano. Na, pag ang pagpasok ko nga, ang bago ng pagkain.
Dahil dyan kakain ka din, ha?
Parang talking to you, ang dami mong ginagawa, di ba? From
Sa
your
buhay,
content. Meron ka ngayon, you have your
Opo,
shows.
opo.
Siyempre, katanungan ng madami ngayon, may time ka pa daw sa life? Oo.
Ngayon po,
Meron
I
ba?
really wanna focus on my career po. Kasi I really wanna give my 100% best dito sa show. Kasi I'll be working with Kuya Will, so wala mo ng distraction for...
Kahit walang nanliligaw, ganun.
Siyempre,
Meron. Haba lang yun.
Ano lang, you're just friends lang.
Kasi ang
work
focus natin.
muna.
Correct, good yan, good yan.
Actually,
maganda.
Inday, you're such an inspiration to
Yeah.
many
Thank you
women right now dahil syempre, hindi lang basta-basta nag-host ka, you're college graduate, tapos may advocacy ka pa.
Yeah.
Diba? Siguro ano na lang, and you're also fulfilling your dream.
Yeah.
Diba? At the same time. So, ano na lang yung mensahe mo sa mga kabataan na katulad mo that who's also dreaming. Diba?
Siguro, yung advice din na binigay sa akin ni Mom, before anything else, you need to really finish your studies. So, yun talaga yung sabi ni Mama sa akin before ka man mag-artist or anything. Really need to finish your studies, at least my fallback po. Yun talaga yung pinaka-important kasi, at the end of the day, what's important is also you have finished your education. So, talagang, yung mga pangarap natin, wag nating, really grab the opportunities na andyan sa harapan natin and make sure, of course, na talagang, alam mo yun, have the people who really yung talagang meron ka ding mga tao sa likod mo na susuporta sa'yo.
That's right.
Last na lang bago siya mag-imbita sa viewers natin, how
Yeah.
are you preparing for the upcoming show ninyo nila Kuya Will?
Sobrang preparation po because mahal ni Kuya Will yung show kasi alam naman natin talaga nagbibigay ng saya sa milyong-milyong Pilipino. So that's why we're really working hard. We really want to give our 100% best to the show. So we have trainings na din po, although we have tried hostings na din. So, but still we have trainings para talagang mas mabigyan, ng justice yung show, para mas mabigay namin yung best namin. So may mga trainings po kami regarding sa hostings din.
Alam ko bawal kasi magbigay pa ng mga
Oo.
fine details
Yeah,
ng show, pero meron ka bang po pwedeng sabihin sa atin na pwedeng ma-expect sa show?
Of course, expect ng mga tao, syempre patuloy pa rin yung mga pagbibigay ng papremyo, of course. Syempre pagbibigay din saya sa mga Pilipino. And of course, excited ako sa mga segments, sa mga palaro ni Kuya Will kasi yun naman din talaga yung inaabangan ng mga
Pwede ba
tao.
tayo sumali?
Sumali, diba?
Correct.
You were
Why don't you invite all our viewers na abangan yung show ni Kuya Will?
Opo, nako mga day mga do, mga kapatid.
Mm.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Iniimbitahan po namin kayo na of course abangan ang show, bagong show ni Kuya Will. Alam ko excited na po kayo kasi ayun marami na pong milyong-milyong Pilipino naman ang bibigay ng saya, of course, papremyo din. So abangan nyo lang din po sa lahat ng social media pages, of course. And sa akin na din po, follow nyo din po ako sa aking mga social media pages. Ipa-plug ko na po ba?
Go!
Ayan, ipa-plug ko na ang aking social media accounts. Ayan, Inday Fatima Vlog sa Facebook and sa YouTube, sa TikTok naman. Fatima ang inyong probinsyana.
Ayun. Oh my gosh, she's so beautiful and
Thank you
inspiring.
po.
Malalim at matalino pa.
Yes, oo.
Thank you so much
I'm so
po.
happy to meet you. So
Thank
glad
you so
to have
much
met
for
you.
inviting me po.
Alright, abangan ka namin at sana
Yes,
makapaglaro tayo dyan sa show.
So, hindi ko yung gusto mo lalo na. Bibigyan ng
Magbibigay ba ng
5,000.
jacket?
Oh, jacket.
Mamimigay
Siyempre,
ba ng
nawawala
jacket?
ang ating jacket dyan.
Palitan ko na to.
Alright, maraming salamat ulit sa
Thank
iyo,
you
Inday
so much
Fatima.
po.
And
Thank you for
hopefully,
having me.
makadalo ulit kayo dito sa amin
Yes
bago
po.
mag-start ang show ninyo.
At
Sama mo
kakain
yung iba
ulit.
yung
Kakain ulit ng
At
pagkain.
kakain tayo, ha? Alright, maraming salamat. Don't go away because we're not done yet.
May
May?
afat pa. Hindi ako sanay.
Sabihin mo, stay with us.
Stay with us.
Yeah.
Oy.
Okay.
Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Good morning sa lahat ng viewers. Thank you very much for joining us. Ang daming mga katanungan sana sila, yung ibang viewers.
Ganda nung guest natin kanina, no?
Parang anak ko na yun eh.
Oo nga, ganda, di ba?
Oo, kaedad siya ng eldest daughter ko.
Pero maganda, di ba?
So ganda ka.
Ano? Bakit parang bumubulong ka?
Di ba baka mabash ako, sabihin nila, inaano ko, mas maganda ka.
Ganun ba? Hindi naman ako nag-fish. Sabi ko lang maganda, na-appreciate ko siya.
Hindi ako, malalim na bata. Malalim na bata. Tsaka,
Aabangan ko siya, to be
multifaceted
honest.
ang buhay niya.
Oo,
Kasi,
tsaka pares kaming advocate ng PWD. I love it. Magko-collab kami. Bakit?
dami mong...
Ay, strong mo ngayon. Bilisan mo na, tapusin
Oy,
na natin.
let's get on it. Nako, ito, ongoing saga on our fourth spot, ha? The camp of suspended Mayor Alice Guo calls on the Ombudsman to call off its suspension order. Here's the report.
The legal team of Bamban Mayor Alice Guo appeals the preventive suspension issued against her.
Sana i-lift na yung kanyang suspension. Napakahaba ng 6 months eh.
Guo was suspended to prevent her from influencing the probe into her alleged involvement in POGO operations in her town. The mayor's legal team argued that the Interior Department lacked solid evidence to file the complaint against Guo. They also defended that the POGO raided in March had complete documentation.
Bakit hindi niya i-issuean ng mayor's permit yun? Kung ang aplikante compliant. Kasi meron tayong batas na Anti-Red Tape Act tsaka yung Ease of Doing Business. Pag hindi ka nag-issue ng mayor's permit, ikaw naman ang kakasuhan. Ngayon, nag-issue siya ng mayor's permit, sinuspende naman siya.
The preventive suspension also covers Edwin Ocampo, the head of the Bamban's Business Permit and Licensing Office, and Aden Sigua, the municipal legal officer. Guo's camp also addressed the supposed changes in Mayor Sal-en.
Allowed naman kasi ang isang public servant na i-correct niya yung kanyang sound. Meron tayong tinatawag na amendment of sound. Hindi naman abogado yung tao. Siyempre, kung ano yung sa tingin niya dapat niyang gawin. Ang importante, tini-clear mo.
Meanwhile, the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission maintains POGO hubs have underlying security threats.
Hindi naman po may tatatwa na kung ano ang malaking problemang idinudulot nitong mga POGO na ito. I don't call them POGO hubs anymore. They're scam farms. Yeah. They're scam hubs.
The PAOK says they are now closely monitoring all crimes linked to POGOs. For 1PH, Rainiel Pawid, News 5.
So that is an expected move from Mayor Alice Guo's camp. Okay, at kadugtong niyan, syempre, yung nililink kasi nga, itong si suspended Mayor Alice Guo sa POGO. So sizzling in the third spot are POGOs. Senator Win Gatchalian raised concerns over the political influences of POGOs in the country. In an interview with Storycon, Gatchalian said the foreign criminal syndicates running the POGOs are using their profit to influence the politics in the country. He warned that it will be difficult for the government to fight criminal activities once POGOs successfully influenced decision makers. Gatchalian also expressed disappointment with the Anti-Money Laundering Council for failing to detect the money flows in POGOs.
We were very disappointed with the answers of the Anti-Money Laundering Council because, first of all, they couldn't trace where the money, how the money came in, and they couldn't also trace who the money, who received the money and dispensed the money during the construction stage.
Yan. Iniwasan natin kasi to become a state like Mexico was back in the day, yung run by the cartels of cocaine, di ba? Iniwasan nila yun because ito, if lumalim ang galamay na sinasabi ni Senator Win all the way up to the top, medyong delikado yan. Oo, so you have to nip it in the bud.
Oo. Tsaka malaman yung sinabi niya, although it's during the executive session, sabi niya, yung mga possible influences of outside forces like Bureau of Immigration, you have politicos, diba? So parang it's a concerted effort to protect POGOs here in the Philippines.
Kasi si Pangulong Duterte, former President Duterte, was fighting mga oligarchs because sabi niya ayaw na ng control of the government ng mga big corporations. But now, you have the rise of POGOs. That's na very powerful, di ba?
Actually, may mga allegations nga din kay former President Rodrigo Duterte na during his term, mas lumakas pa ang POGO. Pero yun nga, dun lang din sa update dun sa pag-grade ng mga POGOs dito sa Porac, Pampanga. Hopefully magkaroon tayo ng update doon dahil we've seen a lot of foreign nationals including Filipinos na na-raid doon na na-rescue nga ng PAOK. Diba? Tapos we've seen also in the reports yung talagang bugbog sarado yung lalaki na
nakaposa sa bed.
At nakakabit dun sa frame, no? Bed frame yung posas.
And quickly lang before we go to the next, yung galamay na tinatawag ni Senator Win, di ba, pinagdududahan ngayon nila yung pag-reject sa warrant, search warrant na inaano ng PAOK.
Yes.
Na, di ba, kailangan ng amendment lang, pagbalik niya sa judge, kinorek lang, biglang dininay.
Hindi na pwede.
Oo.
So, yun din yun. Kadugtong nito is may leak na nangyari.
Yes.
No, pagpunta nila doon, marami ng mga nahuli na paalis doon sa area.
Yeah.
O, buti na lang nahabol nila. But who knows kung sino pa yung mga unang nakaalis. Di ba? May leak, tapos merong hindi ginrant yung kanilang search warrant. Yeah. Yan ang isa pang titignan din natin na anggulo dito sa mga pangyayari na to 'di ba? Tapos sa Parañaque may nakuha din ng mga Chinese national naman na may mga establishment sa loob ng isang village sa Parañaque. And base dun sa interview namin kanina kay Manong Ted sa Bureau of Immigration, yung isa sa mga nahuli doon na mga foreign nationals, hindi lang to mga workers, but meron din silang nahuli na sinasabi daw na kingpin doon sa area na yun.
Ako, kung may kingpin, delikado yan.
Oo, nako, yan ang aantabayanan natin ng mga balita tungkol sa POGO.
Alright, let's move over to our next. Sitting pretty on our second spot, an Okta survey shows that majority of Filipinos distrust China. That's 91% of the respondents of the survey conducted from March 11 to 14. Now, only 8% say they feel a fair amount of trust towards China. Okta research fellow Ranjit Rai says the significant distrust for China may be attributed mainly to the tensions in the West Philippine Sea.
Definitely, a lot of it has to do with the tension, no? The tensions in the West Philippine Sea between the Philippines and China. When we talk about support for the Marcos administration's response in the West Philippine Sea, largely because the media was included, no? There was more information. The media was there to take videos of the harassment, and I think a lot of people became more aware.
Actually, panahon pa ni Pangulong Duterte, yung distrust with China was already at an all-time low, but now it's lower.
Yes. And then marami kasi mga factors that can attribute to that distrust, no? Hindi naman sa pagiging parang xenophobia na usapin, but yun nga dahil sa West Philippine Sea issue, merong Kampogo-related issue, ano pa ba? Di ba? Yan yung isa sa yung mga students sa Cagayan, ng mga Chinese students supposedly.
And I think it's yung perspective ng Filipino that yung nakikisimpatya tayo sa mga people of China, yung mga residents, it's because parang feeling natin they're oppressed in such a way na wala silang access to even basic social media sites, di ba? And aside from that, there was a Tiananmen Square massacre long time ago when they tried to fight for democracy, but unfortunately, madaming nasawi sa massacre na yon. So parang it's also a way of sympathizing with the people of China and distrust for the Chinese government.
Now, let's move forward to our next, for our top story for today. Still at the top spot is the tension with China. President Bongbong Marcos insisted that our country is not waging war with China. This as China accuses our government of instigating conflict in the West Philippine Sea. Here's the report.
We are not waging war against any country. This is what President Bongbong Marcos reiterated when he talked to the Army's 10th Infantry Division at Mawab, Davao de Oro yesterday. In his speech, Marcos said, "We are beefing up our military to further defend ourselves from the threats and harassment of other countries." PBBM added that if our army defended themselves from what he calls internal threats, then they can also do this against the threats from other countries. China recently accused the government of instigating troubles in South China Sea. Chinese media reported that Philippine Navy personnel destroyed the fishing nets of Chinese soldiers in Ayungin Shoal, which is still part of our country's exclusive economic zone. Prior to this, China claimed that soldiers stationed at BRP Sierra Madre pointed their guns at China Coast Guard personnel on May 19. This accusation was already disputed by the Philippine Coast Guard by providing a video of what happened on that date. China has been justifying their aggressive actions against our vessels by ignoring the Hague ruling that favored the Philippines and insisting their historical rights to the entire South China Sea. In an interview with Storycon, former Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio reiterated that China cannot claim the West Philippine Sea with historical rights.
Under international law, you cannot claim historical rights. Wala na yan. Pag historical rights, Mongolia should claim the entire China because the Mongols invaded, ruled China for 99 years. The rule now is under the decolonization process of the United Nations. It's now the will of the people. If you are a former colony of the colonial powers, you have a right to self-determination.
Carpio also lauded President Marcos for mentioning the Paris Treaty lines in determining our territory. In his speech at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore last week, Marcos referred to the Treaty of Paris and Treaty of Washington as the basis of the country's territorial scope.
That is factually, legally, and historically correct. That is our narrative. That is the correct story of the Philippines. Now, this is the first time there is such a declaration by the President. The President is the chief architect of foreign policy. This involves foreign policy now. So all our embassies, consulates should echo this now. This should be our narrative.
Ngayon, yung mga on the other side of the political fence cannot be shocked. Kasi parang ibang statement nila na shocked sila sa stance ni President Marcos na strongly strong words opposing China. But they shouldn't be shocked because historically, the father of President Bongbong Marcos, si former President Ferdinand Marcos Sr., was a very strong ally, a very strong partner with the US, kay President Reagan pa lang. And back then, malakas na ang ties ng Philippines. So nagkaroon nga ng EDSA Revolution, the US
Sila nga yung
facilitated,
Marcos
their
family.
exit into Hawaii. So doon pa lang, when people were saying, ay, ally naman ni BBM si former President Duterte, baka he will maintain the same foreign policy stance. Those who know their history will know that will not be the case because he will always take his father's stance. One of his strongest policies is building stronger ties with the US.
Pero yun nga, basta doon tayo sa totoo lang. Kumbaga, hindi yung programa, pero sa totoo lang. Napag-aari natin yun based sa The Hague ruling.
Yes.
Diba? Kasi syempre, ang China, yun ang ginigiit nila kaya tumataas din yung tension. But we still hope for a peaceful resolution at the end of the day.
I don't think naman,
Pero yun nga, I don't think he's waging war.
No, I don't. And I don't think even China will want war. Diba? They're of course trying to fight for. They believe is theirs. But I don't think they want war also because they're trying to build a powerhouse economy. Kasi parang hindi na masyadong uso ngayon yung building how many superpowers are there left? Diba? 2 or 3. You have Russia, you have China, and the US. The rest are decommissioned nuclear weapons already. So there are 3 military superpowers left. But ang uso ngayon, like Singapore and Japan, mahina nga ang army, but they're building, becoming an economic superpower.
Yun ang importante.
Yun ang importante. And China is trying to build that wing Silk Road initiative.
Yes, that's why they want West Philippine Sea.
If they go to war,
economic trade ang dumadaan doon.
Yeah, and if they go to war, ang daming economic embargo mangyayari sa kanila. And
sanctions.
So all the money that comes in from their exports, mawawala. So ayaw nila yun.
Tsaka yung, yung waging war na issue na yan, tignan mo nga yung Sierra Madre natin nung may pinakita yung China na video supposedly pointing gun daw.
Yes, no.
Nakita mo na super kalawang na yung
Ship
natin. Kung meron man dapat gawin, yun muna ayusin 'di ba? Yung ating post doon sa Ayungin Shoal, yung BRP Sierra Madre natin, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I'd like to leave you, and sorry hindi ko nalagay sa screen, pero with a quote.
Huwag ka mag-explain.
Quote for the day. Now, life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. Now, that quote was from Steve Maraboli. In other words, tibayan mo loob mo at huwag mo hintayin dumali ang buhay para sa iyo. At tinagalog ko.
Pero
Thank you
dahil dyan,
thank you.
pagbibigyan kita, pinapatawad na kita na hindi mo nalagay yung quote of the day doon sa natin, sa monitor. Sa susunod ayan ang inaabangan ng viewers natin. Thank you so much, Marjorie Tan ng Buddha's Belly for our
As
food
always, yummy
today,
food. As
Friday,
always.
Buddha's Belly. Thank you so much and sa lahat ng ating mga regular viewers.
Right, and that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again on Monday. I'm Angela Lagunsad Castro.
And I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News.
All sides, all the time.